Welcome in the love and in the peace of our one infinite Creator. Welcome to the Law of One study channel, conscious channeling of LL Research. Today's question has to do with the process of seeking. As the seeker tries to integrate everything that it is attempting to learn from previous lives and from this life. Ra said, the seeker becomes more and more of that which it lives, more and more as it is. And as it is the one infinite Creator. We are wondering if, as we become the one Creator, do we give up our identity? Is this something that we will miss as we become the one Creator? And as we live more and more as the Creator, it seems to have more to do with being than with doing. Could QO speak to us about how the seeker progresses along the line of evolution, the upward spiraling line of evolution to become the Creator? What is gained? What is lost? And how is it done? We are those known to you as the principle of QO. We greet you in the love and in the light of the infinite Creator, in whose service we come to you this day. Thank you for calling us to your circle of seeking this evening. We are most privileged to join your meditation and to offer our humble opinions at this session of working. To be able to collaborate with this instrument is indeed a pleasure, and we thank each of you for taking the time and the energy out of your crowded, busy lives in order to gather together to create a sacred space in which you may seek the truth. As always, before we begin, we would request of each who listens to these words that each listens with care for those thoughts which resonate, leaving all of those thoughts which do not resonate behind. We greatly appreciate you using your facilities of discernment and discrimination. This will enable us to speak freely without being concerned that we might infringe upon your free will or disturb the rhythm of your path of seeking. The question that you ask is most interesting in that it combines questions about what this instrument would call the little life of one incarnation and the life of the soul stream, which lives a larger life within the precincts of eternity, moving through all of the densities of experience from octave to octave, from the timelessness of Alpha to the timeless of Omega, only to wake at last in the Alpha of the next creation. For never doubt, my friends, that you are infinite and eternal. Yes, you are sparks of the Creator, and yes, you are the Creator. And once again, in the next creation, you shall again be sparks of the Creator, as the Creator chooses once again to know itself. If we attempted to speak of one incarnation in responding to this query, without moving at some point into the consideration of that greater sweep of being that is your soul stream, our response would be simpler to grasp. Yet it would lack the nuances requested by those within the circle. Consequently, we beg your indulgence as we may seem to move from considerations of the little life of one incarnation to considerations of the sweep of the soul stream, from which stream you have chosen very carefully those few elements of what this instrument might call personality, in order that you may focus within this little life with the potential of achieving an infinite degree of clarity that both fulfills your goals of service and learning within this present incarnation and advances the potential of your soul stream as a whole to lessen distortion. And as the one known as Jim has quoted, to live more nearly as you are. When one begins with the basic statement that all is one creates a paradox which can never be explained. If all things are one, then why are entities unique from one another? Why are they not equally holograms or images of the one infinite creator? The paradoxes go on from there. If an entity is the one creator, at what point would an entity not live as the creator? These two paradoxes are only the beginning, but perhaps they are enough to indicate that when one is speaking of how to pursue the goal of becoming the creator, one is dwelling in a land of paradox and mystery, in which the known patterns of logic shall not necessarily be of significant aid. On the other hand, if one forgoes the resources of logic and intellect and rests entirely upon naked faith, one becomes rapidly incapable of communicating with the self in a conscious manner, and therefore robs the self of all the hard-won advantages of being an incarnated human being. Therefore, we suggest neither that one rely completely upon the intellect and the use of the logical mind, nor that one rely only upon the energies and essences of faith and direct apprehension or gnosis. Rather, we suggest that you become aware of the situation in which you have placed yourself as a stranger in a strange land, and as a native of that land within the body of bone and muscle, that chemical distillery that carries you so well through your physical incarnation. You seem very limited to yourself. You must breathe to live. You must eat and drink the food and the liquid of your nourishment. You must care for a chemical distillery which eliminates that which is used up in a way which seems less than spiritual. In a million small ways, physicality pulls at you to remind you of one limitation or another within which you dwell, in order to become yourself. Contrawise, contained, as the one known as L showed in her drawing, shown earlier within this circle's discussion, there lies within this web of limitation, pain and suffering, the inimitable sorcerer's stone of now, a now which echoes from the little life to the soul stream to the one infinite creator. Without your physicality, without your location in space-time, without the tremendous sacrifices that you have made as a soul stream in order to project yourself into a physical illusion that is space-bound and time-bound, you should not have the capacity to contain the potential space in which all of the boundaries between the logos of absolute and unconditional love, and the soul stream unbound by space, yet bound firmly within its own metaphysical limitations, might channel down into the space that you can hold open only within incarnation. It is as though within the tiny boundaries of a little life and a seemingly quite limited personality and character, you hold the Creator's highest hope for knowing itself. Not only now in terms of space-time, but now in terms of time-space, and now in terms of the entire creation. The power of your position is astounding in many ways. It is as well that an entity awakening from the dream of Earth to a knowledge of its larger self that has no idea of the power that it carries. For you in a way are like puppies, and you must grow into your feet and your ears and your tail. As you grow from a spiritually immature thinker to a seeker that is increasingly awake and alert and attentive, your puppy feet begin to take hold. You begin to grow into yourself, shall we say. The kinds of strategy used by various seekers to grow more and more into a spiritually mature entity vary widely. The one known as J echoes the questions of many upon your sphere at this time who are using their memories of previous incarnations in order to gather more of a sense of who they are. The reasoning being that since there is so little of the personality that the soul stream has gathered which is given in any one incarnation, surely, as one gathers more and more details of other incarnations and is able to integrate these awarenesses into a single concept of the self, one will gain in one's quality of knowledge about the self. There are those who, such as the one known as S, have found that there are moments out of time that come upon one without warning or previous planning, within which the sense of the self becomes resonant and clear. The intellectual content of this sense of self is almost nil. This path to the awareness of living as one extends far more along the lines of one whose strength lies in direct apprehension, intuition, and gnosis. In addition to these two paths of grasping more and more detail from the deep memory and allowing a sense of self to come from direct apprehension, are other paths too numerous to mention. We do not believe that it is necessary for the spiritual seeker to gain a detailed grasp of either path or of other paths. What we hope to do as we speak to you is to give you more of a sense of your situation. The importance of either direct apprehension or the conscious integration of more and more detail of self fades before the awareness of the potential of your humanity. You are all that there is. Focus down through orders of magnitude beyond our ability to express it through this instrument, into that place where unimaginable power resides, not simply in you as you see yourself or in you as we see you, but in you as you are beyond any description on any level. You have asked that, as spiritual awareness is gained, as one is able to live more as one is, what is gained and what is lost? Let us look first at the process that exposes the gain. You came to know yourself beyond the details of your preferences and into the way it feels, smells, and tastes to be you. We are attempting to push you beyond your senses. But use the senses that you understand in order to indicate that each of you is a bloom within eternity that is exquisitely unique. Not simply in this little life, but in the larger sense of a soul stream of infinite experience and variety. How it is that, as the soul stream builds itself through density after density and experience after experience, it somehow stays true to itself. We have no way of knowing. We only observe that it is so. What do you gain as you become more aware of how it feels to be you? You gain freedom and peace. You have no need to defend. You have no need to protect. You have no need to explain. You are. And who and what you are is a creature of such beauty, truth, worth, and life that any container of words or concepts that you might attempt to use to say, I am, and I hold you, you are the one infinite creator, is inadequate. But that infinity, that creatorness is unique to you, and is the gift that you give to the infinite one. It is, therefore, beyond price. What do you lose? What do you lose as you gain in that feeling of your own essence? In a way, it may be said that you lose a great deal. For as you become more comfortable with that deepest self that you are beyond distortion, distortions begin to fall away. Do you value yourself because you are good at telling jokes? Perhaps that quirk of personality falls away, and the jokes at which you laugh are not those any longer, which causes those about you to join in laughter. It is as though one asked an old person what he has lost by becoming old. He could say, I have lost my looks, my teeth, my sense, my ability to go for 4 hours without going to the bathroom. Or he could say, I have lost my fears, my worries, my anger, my prejudice, and my self-imposed limitations. There is no question, my friends, that in the process of becoming a more mature entity, spiritually speaking, things shall fall away from you, and that which you are shall bear less distortion and more love. If you value your distortions and say, I am who I am because of these distortions, be they physical or emotional or quirks of personality, or having to do with particular gifts or particular limitations, then you shall feel the loss of much as you become closer to congruency with the frequency and vibration of the one infinite creator, which is love. As this instrument, who is a mystical Christian, would put it, as you become aware of your sainthood and your home within the heavenly realms shared by angels and those who have not descended into the vibrations of earth, you lose the particularity which may be dear to you of your rank in society, your outer abilities, and all of those preferences by which you have distinguished yourself from others. What is gained and what is lost when you are gazing at the opportunity in one small life to hold a channel or space that connects particularity to the infinite and that brings or can bring the infinite love and the light of the one from the very blazing heart of the mystery into sturdy, stable life, a life that moves through you without effort, but with infinite and intense intention. This is your opportunity to be, and in that beingness, offer your channel, your instrument, your essence, hollowed out, empty of the details of gifts and personality, so that your life and the life of your world may be lit from within by love. You ask, finally, how do we live as we are? My friends, each moment of your life is a moment in which the potential for being, for knowing that you are a being, and for learning into that knowledge with intention to serve, is held like a gift before you. Shall you take that gift in this moment? You may perhaps be distracted, but another moment shall come immediately, and then another, and then another, and so it is. There is no moment in your life as a third density entity in incarnation that is not utterly and completely full of the opportunity to know the self, to accept the self, and to become the creator. My friends, while we are aware that we have barely scratched the surface of this most interesting query, we feel that it is a good time to pause and ask if there is a follow-up to this question. We are those of QO. If there is no follow-up question at this time, we would like to say thank you. Thank you for calling us. Thanks to this instrument for collaborating with us. Thanks to the one infinite creator whom you and we all serve for this opportunity to be together in his love and in his light. We are known to you as those of the principle of QO. We leave you as we found you, in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Adonai.